At the beginning of the story, the scene shows a boy lying unconscious in a pool in a critical condition. As he regains consciousness, it is revealed that a crocodile is attacking him. Somehow, he manages to save himself by freeing his leg from the crocodile's jaws and fending it off by hitting it with a bucket, forcing it to move away from him. At this moment, it becomes clear that this is a massive swimming pool with no ladders or means to climb out. The story then moves 6 days back. A girl is shown swimming in the pool as part of a film shoot taking place at the location. The main character of the story, named Day, works there as a side worker in the art team. Day's girlfriend, Koi, arrives at the spot and insists on diving into the pool, but Day refuses to let her. They also have a pet dog named Lucky, who plays a significant role in this survival story. Day suffers from a medical condition that requires him to take insulin injections regularly. He apologizes to his girlfriend, Koi, for not being able to take her out often. It's Day's birthday, and Koi gifts him a music toy. She is also pregnant and plans to share the news with him today. Koi playfully asks, "Have you thought of a name for our baby?" However, Day becomes upset because he is not ready for a child yet. Sensing his reaction, Koi quickly covers up by saying she was joking and is not pregnant. At this moment, another character, Mayum, who is Day's friend, is introduced. The next morning, after the shoot wraps up, Day goes to relax in the same swimming pool, where there's also a sofa. Lucky, his dog, follows him to the pool. Day starts relaxing and tosses a ball towards Lucky, but the ball bounces to a deserted spot. There, we notice a newspaper lying around with a headline stating that officers are searching for a crocodile, implying it has escaped from its enclosure. At this point, Day's friend, Mayom, arrives. Mayom activates the valve to drain the pool's water and informs Day, asking him to come out soon. He also ties Lucky to prevent him from roaming around too much. While doing so, he places Day's insulin on a table nearby. Mayom mentions that he's leaving for Nepal for 4 months. Before leaving, Day jokingly asks him to treat him to pizza, but Mayom declines and heads off. Later, we see that a lot of time has passed, and Day is still lying in the pool as he had dozed off. He wakes up to the sound of Lucky barking and quickly realizes he is in trouble. Day desperately tries to get out of the pool, but his attempts only result in injuries, including his nail getting separated from his finger. Remembering that his phone is placed above, he tries to retrieve it, but fails. At this moment, Koi's call comes in, causing the phone to vibrate and move slightly closer to the edge. Meanwhile, Lucky accidentally falls into the pool. Day rushes to save the dog, abandoning his attempt to grab the phone. He manages to rescue Lucky, but in the process, the phone falls into the pool and gets damaged, rendering it useless. Due to the pool's depth, Day realizes he can't climb out, so he tries to stop the pool from completely draining by plugging the valve with a towel. However, while doing so, the zipper of his pants gets caught in the pool's drain cover, trapping him momentarily. Meanwhile, a pizza delivery boy arrives, but only sees Lucky outside the pool area. Unable to spot Day, who is inside the pool, the delivery boy leaves the pizza and goes away, causing Day to miss a chance for help. Exhausted and losing hope, Day lies down, seemingly waiting for rescue. Just then, Koi arrives at the pool. Assuming Day is simply relaxing, she steps back a few paces to take a running dive into the pool. However, Lucky starts barking, waking Day up. He realizes what's about to happen and yells at Koi to stop, but it's too late. Koi slips, hitting her head severely, and falls unconscious into the pool. Panicking, Day rushes to help her. He uses the towel he had stuffed into the drain to wrap around her injured head, but removing the towel causes the water to start draining from the pool even faster. At that moment, Lucky starts barking loudly as the escaped alligator arrives at the scene and eventually falls into the pool. Furious, Day yells at Lucky, blaming him and saying, "Lucky, what have you done? You're useless." But the dog's true worth will soon become evident. Koi is still unconscious, and the pool is now completely drained, leaving her and Day trapped with the alligator. Koi desperately needs water, so Day decides to go beneath the pool, hoping to find water or an exit. However, the drain cover is tightly secured and must be opened. Noticing the sharp pendant on Koi's necklace, Day uses it as a tool to pry open the cover. Just as he succeeds, the alligator slips into the hole before Day can act. With Koi's condition worsening, Day has no choice but to risk following the alligator into the hole in search of water to save her. At this point, the alligator returns to the pool, forcing Day to rush back. Just as the alligator is about to attack Koi, Day intervenes and manages to drive it away. Moments later, Koi regains consciousness. Day quickly explains to her that they are trapped in the pool along with an alligator. During their conversation, Day confesses why he didn't want to become a father. He admits that he currently isn't earning enough and doesn't feel ready to bring a child into such uncertain circumstances. Night falls, and Koi grows hungry, but they have nothing to eat. Then they notice Lucky chewing on a piece of pizza. A little while later, Lucky drops the pizza on the ground near them. As they eat the small piece of pizza, Koi becomes emotional. She recalls how Day's busy schedule never left time for them to go out together, and now, ironically, they are finally sharing a meal, a slice of pizza, in such dire circumstances. Tears roll down her cheeks as she says, "Finally, I'm eating pizza with you, Day." The next morning, Day starts feeling weak, as his insulin is still out of reach above the pool. Eventually, he collapses and begins experiencing hallucinations. In his weakened state, he recalls the beautiful moments he spent with Koi, reliving their happier times together. As dawn breaks, they make a startling discovery. The alligator is female and has laid eggs. Realizing this, they devise a plan to trap the alligator. Using whatever resources they have, they lure it into a makeshift trap and push it into the pool's drain hole. This allows them to retrieve the eggs safely. After eating the eggs, they regain some energy. Determined to escape, they attempt once more to climb out of the pool. Despite their efforts, they fail again, but their resolve strengthens as they realize they can't survive much longer in this situation. They know they must find a way out before it's too late. Day and Koi manage to open the pool's drain cover, allowing the alligator to escape. Taking the opportunity, they both climb into the pool's drain hole, hoping to find an exit. However, Day's condition worsens due to his lack of insulin. Koi, worried, asks where his insulin is. Day tells her it's still above the pool, but there's no way to reach it. Determined, Day tries to retrieve it, but accidentally knocks the insulin into the pool, where it shatters. 6 days pass, and they're still trapped. By sheer luck, Day stumbles upon another box of insulin he had forgotten about. This gives him a glimmer of hope. Later, they spot something resembling a paraglider in the sky. Believing it might be someone who can help, Day shouts for assistance, but receives no response. Realizing it might not be safe, he advises Koi to stay inside while he goes up to investigate. When he gets closer, Day discovers that what he thought was a paraglider is just a toy floating in the air. Disappointed and drained, he realizes their chances of escape are dwindling. After some time, a strong gust of wind blows, causing a rope to dangle into the pool. Day, determined, attempts to climb out using the rope. In his effort, he injures himself but still doesn't succeed in escaping. He falls back into the pool, unconscious, and we return to the same scene we saw at the beginning of the story. As rain begins to fall, Koi waits anxiously for Day, knowing that if he doesn't reach her in time, the area will soon be flooded. Faced with the rising danger, Day decides to head back to Koi. This time, he takes a different route and notices light streaming from a hole above. He rushes towards it, opens the cover, and climbs out, thinking he's finally escaping. But to his shock and dismay, he finds himself in another pool, identical to the one he had been trapped in. Overcome with frustration and hopelessness, Day realizes that all his efforts have led him to the same situation. His spirit is crushed as he faces yet another dead end. After some time, 2 people arrive at the pool. It turns out one of them owns the paraglider toy, which had fallen into the pool earlier. Day hears their voices, but by the time he reaches the pool, they are already gone. However, they had left a ladder hanging down into the pool. As Day approaches the ladder, the alligator blocks his path. For some reason, the ladder is pulled up again by some force. On the other side, Koi is still in danger and calling out for Day. Day manages to fend off the alligator, and when Lucky the dog sees him in the pool, it joyfully jumps in, still attached to its leash. However, the leash becomes tangled, and Lucky ends up hanging in the pool. After struggling for a while, the dog dies, which deeply saddens Day. But now, Day can use the leash to climb out of the pool. He makes his way up and finds that the area where Koi is has been completely flooded. Desperately, he tries to open a metal cover and finally pulls Koi out. Her body and lungs are filled with water, and despite his best efforts, Koi remains unresponsive. Day, heartbroken, pleads with her, saying, "Open your eyes, open your eyes." But she doesn't respond. Just when Day is about to give up, Koi unexpectedly regains consciousness. The story ends with Koi waking up, and the hope of survival finally shining through.